Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Filming the Wild. I'm with my good buddy Jason Yoder with Exploring with Jason. So go check out his YouTube channel. You don't want to miss the stuff that he does. He's all about landscapes, wildlife, and adventure. So be sure to check it out. Did I get that right?
Got it right.
Sweet. So we are actually sitting above an area where we think elk could be coming down tonight. We've seen them the last 2 nights, and so far they haven't come out yet, but we've gotten here early, set up in this blind. So if you like this kind of behind the scenes look at what it takes to film wildlife and get that shot, be sure to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Oh, and be sure to go follow Jason. All right, let's roll that intro.
This is my world.
My name is Alan Lacey, and I'm a wildlife filmmaker, cameraman, and producer. Adventure with me as I explore the amazing world of nature and show you what it's like filming the wild. In the early hours just before sunrise, we awoke to the sound of a lone coyote in the clearing just outside our tents. I am here in the White Mountains of Arizona searching for Mexican gray wolves with my new friend and fellow YouTuber, Jason Yoder. Which, if you haven't already watched part 1 of this adventure, I highly recommend you go and watch it now.
Alright, so this morning we woke up to the sound of a coyote just outside in the meadow out here. And it woke us up. And then right at sunrise it also yapped, so we got up. Fortunately, we made, unzipping all of the tent structures. It moved off a little too far away to film, but it was still pretty cool. We could still see it for a good 5 to 10 minutes before it traipsed on the other side of the hill. I did film a little bit. It's the typical coyote shot that I get, which is their tail running off in the other direction. It's just the way it is. It's probably gonna be the same thing if we do find wolves. That's usually what you see. But it's big, bright, beautiful morning. Just had some coffee, breakfast, getting ready to hit the road. Today we're gonna do is look for some mountain bluebirds, because these guys are really awesome. They really stand out in the background. So we're gonna try to find an area where some of the fall color is popping and get some of the bluebirds in front of the fall foliage, which is gonna be pretty cool. So, and then elk tonight is our game plan. But we're about ready to hit the road. Jason's all packed down, and I leave mine up, and so we have a base camp so no one takes this when we come back. But anyways, we'll catch you guys when we find some bluebirds.
For the past few days, Jason and I have been scouring the landscape looking for any signs of Mexican wolves. We were pretty close to them in our last episode, but we never did see them. However, we did see their tracks, which if you head over to Jason's channel, you can see how close we actually were. Today, however, we decided to go look for mountain bluebirds. These small birds really pop against the landscape, and they are a fun subject to film. In the last episode, I talked about how sometimes you don't need a blind, but rather, you can just blend into the surroundings and the wildlife will get used to you. In this episode, we are using the blind to get closer to our subjects, which is another great technique to getting great shots.
We're in the blind now. We're set up waiting for the bluebirds to come in front of us, and they're entering into the trees nearby. So hopefully we get a good shot here in a second. Oh, right, that one was like not too far away.
And it didn't take long until the action started. In a nearby log, a chipmunk was on watch duty. And the mountain bluebirds kept teasing us, getting ever so close, but not right in front where we hoped to get the fall colors in the background. However, I couldn't help but focus on the little chipmunk, who kept giving us great opportunities to film it. Except when it would dive for cover at the slightest hint of danger. But the chipmunk prevailed and would always come back and sass us with its chippy personality. It was quite a show, the balance of nature playing out right before us. Mountain bluebirds, chipmunk, red-tailed hawk. Better than any of the drama in a TV sitcom if you ask me. Soon, but not before Jason got a few good shots of a white-crowned sparrow, which you can see on his channel, we headed off towards the location where we hoped to film some elk later in the evening. Jason filmed some of the fall colors from his drone, which you are enjoying here. This time of year is absolutely beautiful up in the White Mountains. Jason has a great YouTube channel called Explore with Jason, so we decided to collaborate together to produce this series for you. And for the past few days, we've been looking for Mexican wolves, but so far, we've come up empty. So tonight, we decided to try to film some of the elk. For the past few nights, we noticed a decent-sized herd across the meadow from where we camped.
Just move into them.
Yeah, I'm just flashing.
But we kinda got held up by a cattle jam on the road.
Another one!
Yep.
It's like Phoenix!
Most of the national forests in the West allow cattle to graze on these public lands. I'm not opposed to having cows being grass-fed, but sometimes it does make things a little more challenging to find wildlife. Not to mention all of their huge hooves scar up the landscape pretty intensely. Plus, you do have to watch your step if you don't want to step in something nasty. We headed over to set up the blind and give us enough time to get everything ready so that all we had to do was get in and wait for the elk to come out of the woods and hopefully put on a show. Or so we hoped. If you'd like to see that part of the adventure, head over to Jason's channel and watch his videos there as well. After setting up the blind, then taking a quick bathroom break and getting some food, we found ourselves inside the blind once again. And so it became a waiting game to see if the elk would make their appearance.
Alright, so Jason and I are actually in the blind now, and we're sealed up, so we get to stay here now for the next 2 or 3 hours until the elk do their thing. Hopefully the elk do their thing. So it's just a waiting game now, and hope all the hard work and all the planning pays off. Alright, it's about 5:30 now, and the elk have not come yet, but this is about the time that we've been seeing them the last couple of nights. So, for the sake of getting the shot, I'm gonna go quiet now, and let's hope that they come out. Usually about sundown is when they come out of the trees, so we're almost to that point. So, hopefully the next time I'm talking to you, we've got some pretty cool elk footage. But if not, I'll tell you what it's like to sit in a blind for a few hours and get nothing.
And so we waited, and waited, and waited.
We just saw some pronghorn instead of elk, so we'll take this as a victory.
Most of my experience with pronghorn result in them running away before I even get my camera set up, or even get it out of my car if I see them alongside the road. This is because they are hunted here, and so they are very skeptical of anyone stopping and moving towards them, and I wouldn't blame them. So this was quite an amazing experience for us to just sit and watch this magnificent animal scratch its neck on a thistle and then move across the landscape in front of us. People often refer to pronghorn as an antelope, which does make a lot of sense. However, they actually aren't, and are more closely related to giraffes than antelope. Pronghorn are the fastest land animal in North America, and at one time had to outrun the American cheetah before it went extinct. They've even been clocked at 55 miles per hour. However, there's one thing that makes life challenging for pronghorn, and that's fencing. Unlike deer and elk that can jump over fences, pronghorn are terrible jumpers. Thankfully, some ranchers are thoughtful and raise the fencing to allow pronghorn to go under the wires, preserving their migratory routes.
Sun's down, it's dark, getting everything packed back up. No elk, unfortunately. But, as you heard, I don't know if it came out, it was whispering pretty quietly, but we had a really cool encounter with a pronghorn. It happened to walk right along past us, walked across the meadow. It was actually pretty cool. Normally pronghorn are hard to film because they go they're so far out usually, and anytime you try to capture them on film, they usually take off running and you never get a chance but filming their butts. So this was a win, so I'll take it. It was exciting. Still no elk, but win some, you lose some, and this time we lost the elk, but we won the pronghorn.
So as we head back towards camp, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. I couldn't do these episodes without you. And if you aren't part of the Filming the Wild family over on Patreon, I invite you to head over and check it out. I even have more behind the scenes content over there that's exclusively for Patreon members. But if that doesn't fit your fancy, you can also become a member here on YouTube by just clicking the join button, which is right next to the subscribe one. Oh, and don't forget to head over to Jason's channel and watch his episodes of our adventure looking for Mexican wolves.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it. I always love getting out into nature like this and being able to share stories of the wild with you guys. So if you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. What would you guys like to see me create next? I've had a lot of fun exploring looking for wolves in this episode. Are there a species you guys would like to see me do? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But in the meantime, keep an eye out for the next episode of Filming the Wild.